thank you for tuning in and joining us for our Veterans Day celebration. We're recording it in the good weather because we're scheduled for rain on actual Veterans Day. I would like to introduce myself. I am Carrie Ahearn. I happen to be the first Vice Commander of the Johnson-Costello Post 355 American Legion here in Penn Yan, New York. I also happen to be the Veteran Service Officer at the Veteran Service Agency of Yates County. And I appreciate you tuning in. So to welcome us today is Director Phil Rouin of the Yates County Veteran Service Agency. He is a veteran of the United States Navy, and we will let him go with our greeting.
First of all, I wanted to welcome all the veterans, family members, guests, and in a little brief introduction on myself. I'm the Yates County, I'm Phil Rouin, for those who don't know me. I'm the director of the Yates County Veteran Service Agency right here in Penn Yan. I'm also a licensed master social worker. Not too many people know that, but I'd share that. And just a brief piece about my career in the military. I enlisted in the Navy in January 1980. Retired from the Navy January 2010. And while I was in the military, I was a Navy Master Explosive Ordnance Disposal Technician, and I was also qualified as a military freefall and naval parachutist, a diver, enlisted surface warfare specialist, and a master training specialist, just to keep things short. So, that being said, today, Veterans Day, I will quote something from Scripture. Today, it's a glorious day the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. Thank you for all the veterans and what you've done. And I will share something personal for me. Today is a very special day to me. My father, Marcel Bud Rouin, a combat World War II veteran who served in the Battle of the Bulge, Purple Heart recipient, died November 11, 2013. So this day is very dear to me. I want to thank everyone, especially our veterans, for their service to our grateful nation. I want to thank all the veterans here and throughout the county for their continued service with the various veteran organizations who continue to serve our grateful community, such as the American Legion, the VFW, the DAV. So those are just to name a few. But in short, a great thanks to all veterans for their service and continuing service. Thank you.
We thank Phil for our greeting today. Our guest speaker today happens to be W. Patrick Felby, the Yates County Surrogate and Family Court Judge and acting New York State Supreme Court Justice retired. A native of Yates County, Judge Falvey graduated from Penn Yan Academy, receiving his Bachelor's of Arts degree in Political Science from Hobart College. Served as a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army, including a tour of duty to Vietnam with the 1st Air Cavalry Division. Then earned a Juris Doctorate degree from the University of Chicago John Marshall Law School. Before his retirement in December 2016, Judge Felby served for almost 29 years as Yates County's Surrogate Family Court Judge and as acting New York State Supreme Court Justice. He instituted the Yates County Custody Visitation Mediation Program. He implemented and was the first presiding judge of the Yates County Drug Treatment Court. He also served as president of the County Judges Association of New York State, president of the Yates County Bar Association, and chair of the Yates County Law Library Board of Trustees. Currently, Judge Felby acts as a judicial hearing officer for the New York State Unified Court System, referee for attorney discipline matters, and is of counsel to the law offices of Attorney Scott P. Felby. Prior to assuming the bench, Judge Felby maintained a private practice of law in Penn Yan, during which time he also served in various capacities, including assistant public defender, law clerk to a Supreme Court justice, counsel to the Department of Social Services, and nearly 8 years as Yates County District Attorney. Judge Felby is the recipient of various awards, including the Center for Dispute Settlements Distinguished Jurist Award, the Yates County Chamber of Commerce Emily F. Seeger Memorial Pride Award, and the DeWitt Clinton Masonic Award for Community Service. He has been involved in numerous community activities, including serving as president of the Yates County Professional Health Advisory Committee, the Sampson Theater Restoration Project, VFW Post 745, an honorary life member of Johnson-Costello American Legion Post 355. He also currently serves as Judge Advocate, House Counsel for the American Legion Department of New York. Judge Felby is married to the former Susan G. Christensen, also of Penn Yan. They have 2 adult children, Scott, an attorney in Canandaigua and Penn Yan, and Jennifer, a teacher in Roanoke, Virginia, and 2 grandchildren, Samuel and Gabriella. And I turn today over to Judge Felby.
Thank you, Vice Commander Ahearn. My fellow veterans, members of the auxiliary, sons of the American Legion, ladies and gentlemen. A shout out as we first begin today to our U.S. Marine Corps brothers and sisters on their 245th birthday yesterday, November 10th. Semper Fi. I'm honored to be here. November 11th holds special meaning for me personally, for it was 50 years ago today that my father, Bill, a World War II veteran and past post Johnson-Costello Post commander, was giving the post's Veterans Day address, while at the same time I was flying to Southeast Asia to begin my tour of duty in Vietnam. Here rests in honored glory an American soldier, known but to God. In 1921, the Arlington National Cemetery burial site of the unknown World War I soldier became the personification of dignity and reverence for America's veterans. Now there are unknowns for World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. This and similar memorial gestures in England's Westminster Abbey and France's Arc de Triomphe took place on November 11th, giving universal recognition to the celebrated ending of World War I hostilities at 11 a.m., November 11th, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The day became known as Armistice Day, in commemoration that World War I was the war to end all wars. Now, unfortunately, that was not to be the case, since shortly thereafter, World War II, this September, we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of that war's end, broke out in Europe. And our nation has since experienced Korea, this past June, the 70th anniversary of its beginning. Vietnam, we are now in the midst of observing its 50th anniversary. Then there was Lebanon, Grenada, Somalia, Bosnia, the War on Terror, which includes the Gulf War. On January 2021 will be the 30th anniversary of Operation Desert Storm. And now, Afghanistan. The 20th anniversary of its beginning will be in the fall of 2021. Thus, the day is now known as Veterans Day, to honor the nation's veterans, both living and dead, of all wars, an annual tribute to all veterans, and for all the armistices they forged. In this way, the American veteran became and continues to be the only enduring symbol of world peace. Veterans Day is the day we honor millions of men and women who gave of themselves to keep America strong and free, by willing to stand a post on the green line for freedom to preserve our way of life. Many say, what is a veteran? Let me just say this, a quote that I've come across. A veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserve, is someone who at one point in their life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount of up to and including life. Serving America in uniform calls for many sacrifices of its soldiers, family separations, putting duty, honor, and country before self, to ensure the future of a nation that they love and the future of their families and friends. As usual, Americans from all walks of life have given rise to the challenge in time of conflict. Today, many women and men serve in uniform in Iraq, Afghanistan, the war against those who abhor our way of life. They are making sacrifices that will give veterans and all of us a chance to be pleased with our honor and to be one day called military veterans. It seems each November 11th we tend to look back, to remember the good old days, to think about the way it was, and yes, to remember the many sacrifices of our honored veterans. But perhaps looking back is the wrong place to focus our attention in 2020. Look around you. See the emergency workers, banker, secretary, the civic leader, the mechanic, the nurse, the doctor, the electrician, steel worker, miner, the chemist, essential workers that make this country work, especially in today's society. Many are veterans. Veterans share a common bond, often not considered. These men and women are first and foremost citizens of America, who have fulfilled the greatest obligation of citizenship. That is, serving their country in time of war or armed conflict. We don't always recognize a veteran. They look like every one of us and everyone else. They're women and men of all races and religions. They're from every station in life, but they're always there in the thick of things, working, not for recognition, but for the satisfaction of serving. And one thing is for certain, veterans, like all Americans, are touched by each problem we face. They know the tragedy of drugs, opioids, alcohol, suicide, and mental health issues. They are sickened by the violence in our streets and society. They cringe at the assault on the rule of law, the meddling with our right and duty to vote, and the lessening of our knowledge and respect for our dear Constitution. And they feel the emptiness of homelessness and poverty. Veterans know firsthand the price of peace, and they feel the need and pray for world peace. For as General Douglas MacArthur once said, and I quote, "The soldier, above all, prays for peace, for he must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war," end quote. Today we honor veterans for what they've done and what they're doing. What would we find if we could measure the contribution of every veteran in society? An interesting question that just can't be answered. But one thing is for sure, no matter the problem, no matter the area of the country, if you ask, you'll likely find a veteran involved, taking part in the American way of life, facing the challenge of keeping history from repeating itself, and keeping an eye on tomorrow in order to preserve America for our children, our children's children, and our countless generations to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us look back today for a glimpse of the past. But quickly look around you. See your fellow Americans who are working to beat the problems of today and keep us safe from those who would destroy our wonderful way of life. Then look ahead to the problems that are sure to come, and you will surely see the veterans that will have written their own blank check around to help overcome it. America's veterans certainly will continue to be our unsung heroes, but they'll never stop contributing. Women and men who know that service and sacrifice are just part of the vital equation established so long ago by our founders. That is freedom, for freedom is not free. All of us gathered here today know that while the uniform is hung away, the service of a veteran goes on. Service that continues to make America strong, a land for the free and a home for the brave. Thank you very much. May God bless our troops, and may God bless these United States of America. Thank you.